All right. So how do you even get to the consultation call? We've talked about this on previous calls, but just to catch everybody up to speed. Our philosophy as part of PCS is, if as a coach and as a speaker, our goal, we should want to have personal connections and conversations with people, right? I don't see how you want to be a coach and not talk to somebody. There's some people that say they want to just automate everything. If you just want to automate everything, maybe coaching is not for you, right? So at some point, you should want to help people. You should want to talk to a human being. And believe it or not, your people they tired of all of the automated stuff. They want to talk to a human, right? So that's automatically going to set you apart from everybody else. Now, the process that we're using is content, people who engage with you, you engage in conversation with them via DM or private message. You basically ask them questions and see if you can help them in chat. And then from there, it say, hey, do you want to jump on an elevation call? And then, they'll say, sure. Or say, hey, I got a few ideas for you. Would you like to jump on a quick whatever call, right? And then they'll say, sure. You schedule a time with them. If you have a link, you can send them a link. And then at that time, they'll book. Okay. Now, with that, now you get to the place. Now, what we're talking about today is you're at the place. I mean, you're here, you're ready. It's time to talk. What do you say? When you get on the phone, right? You have, when I say light, very light, and we didn't even put it on here yet, but this is just common. This is just common rapport, right? Meaning you can ask something like, typically what I like to ask or like to say when I get on is, I might say, hey, where you calling from? I might say, hey, how's your day going? Sometimes you got to be careful with how's your day going, because most people just say, yeah, it's going pretty good, or I'm doing okay. Most people say that, but you kind of got to be careful with that question, because they can say, oh, you know what, something negative just happened, like, my cousin just died, right? And then, it could kind of dampen the mood a little bit at the start of the call, right? So just kind of be careful about that. But I kind of like to just say where you calling from, because it's a direct question, right? So kind of just keep in mind of that, right? But once you do that, and you don't talk forever about that, maybe 1 or 2 minutes, and then with that, now you can jump into some specific questions. Now, these are suggested questions. You want to have specific questions that's based on your industry. That's based on your industry. Here we say, what are you looking to accomplish in the next year? So that is seeing where people want to go. It's very hard to help somebody if you don't know what they want to achieve and where they want to go. The goal is not, please, everybody write this down. The goal is not to help everybody. Anytime you're doing strategy sessions, you don't need to help everybody. You don't have to try to force, and you don't have to do none of that. The reason I don't have to force everybody is because some people are ready and some people are not. But some of the questions I like to ask is, what's the status of your business? I like to ask what's the status of your business to kind of see where they're at. The status of your business is not necessarily the problems. The status of your business is the context. So if I'm talking to a coach, I'll say, okay, well, have you started your coaching business yet? What are you currently offering? What is your price point? I'll ask questions to see, do you already have clients? Do you not have clients? I'm just trying to get an understanding of where they're at. Now, you'll ask some people this and they'll start jumping into some of the challenges that they're facing. If they do, that's fine, let them go, right? But understand that you gotta, in order to take somebody to a higher level, you gotta know where they're currently at. Follow what I'm saying? So that's really key. Another question I like to ask is, what made you book the call? And what would you like to learn? /no. So I like to ask that question, positions me as an authority. Basim, I think that's you. Just jump on mute for me. So with that question is about, okay, what made you book the call? But don't stop there. Complete it and say, what would you like to learn or know? So they're gonna answer, okay, well, I booked the call because I saw that you was doing this, that, and that. Or hey, you know what? We had a conversation, we vibed out, you asked me some good questions, and I jumped on a call to kind of see, what's going on. Okay, then you'll follow up and say, okay, well, what would you like to know? And then they'll tell you. So that's a good question to kind of understand. Another question I like to ask is, what is your biggest challenge? What is your biggest challenge? And this is key. Tell me more about that. Tell me more about that. Brownie points. If somebody tells me what their biggest challenge is, let's say I say, tell me what your biggest challenge is. And they say, my biggest challenge is content. I'm gonna tell you, everybody write this down. Write this down, underline it, circle it. I do not accept surface level answers. I do not accept surface level answers. From now on, you will not accept any surface level answer from anybody. Part of sales is really getting people emotionally connected to the pain that they're facing, the thing that they really want. That's what's really going to get somebody motivated to want to take action for it. You get a little cut on your arm, you might not go to the hospital. You break your leg, you rush into the hospital, right? But if you get a cut on your arm, it may not hurt, but if somebody punches, it might hurt enough for you to want to go do something about it, right? And it's not in a negative sense, but people need to be, in order to take action, people need to feel emotionally connected. So the reason why we say, tell me more about that is one is for two reasons. One reason is you want them to get emotionally connected to the reason behind their biggest challenge, and so they can verbalize it. But also it's because you really don't know. Why are you motivated to fix this? You can kind of adjust the language in, but typically how I would do it if I'm talking to coaches, I say, why are you so motivated to coach people on this topic? Why are you so motivated? I ask, why are you motivated? Because it's one of my favorite questions to see, like, what their why is. What is their why? Your why is going to keep you going, right? If somebody has a motivating why, they're going to keep going. Like, the type of people that I like to work with is like, yo, whether we work together or not, you're going to be looking for the solution. You're going to be on this path anyway. And I literally say that on a call. And the reason that I love saying that and it's so they know that, okay, like based on their why and what they told me, like, okay, I can see that regardless, like you seeking a solution and you're going to be going on this path regardless. This is not hype. This is not no fad. This is something you genuinely are motivated to do. You genuinely motivated to overcome this thing, accomplish this thing, whatever. Cool. And then one of the other questions I like asking, and you don't have to limit it to this, but these are just my favorite questions, right? Is when are you looking to get this fixed, right? If this is something that they really want to do right now, then they're going to be like, yo, like, I've been trying to get this done yesterday. like this is not a game for me. And so that gives you one of your first indicators how serious somebody is and if they're really ready to go. So it's like a subtle way to kind of see when they're okay. Basically, you're taking the temperature, right? So that's really key. All right. So those are some of my favorite questions. All right. Anybody got any questions on that so far? The next side of it is the presentation, right? So once you get a good idea of how you can help somebody, your goal is to one, let them know that you can actually help them. Because remember, qualification is exactly what it is. And I like to say, I may refer you somewhere else, which is true. I've done that plenty of times before. So with that, I'll let them know at the beginning of the call, hey, I may refer you up somewhere else if I feel like I can't help you. And if I can, then, I'll share with you what a solution to look like.